and worship is what we do. We must go to that place before we can lead you. So let us worship Him in spirit, worship Him in truth, for all that He's already done and everything He will do, because
hey everybody, it's Thursday night. We've been waiting on this all day. We back here again with Miss V, and I got my crew.
All right.
We even got a special guest in the house because every now and then, we want to make sure that we ain't partial. So we put a man on board so that he can come and be one of our guests today, so he can get these ladies straight.
All right.
Well, we're gonna get this man straight.
We're going to get this man straight.
Either way, somebody gonna be straight.
Somebody's going to be straight. Come on now.
So first off, we all, like always, we want to let them introduce themselves, tell you about themselves, and hopefully they don't give you no secrets, because somebody out there gonna talk. So just give you the basics of what you want them to know about you, and if you don't care, just give them what you want. Starting with Tempest, you started off.
Okay. So my name is Tempest, and you can find me on Facebook at Tempest Marceau. You also can find me on Instagram at TBLovingGod. I also have a t-shirt brand called Strength in You Creations. You can find me on Facebook under Strength in You Creations Print Studio, and Instagram under Strength in You Creations. Happy to be here, and I hope you all sit back and enjoy this show. All right.
I was supposed to follow that.
Come on,
You
with
got
it, baby.
this.
Well, my name is Marcus, and you don't got to find me on none of those sites. I'm just happy to be here. I'm happy to have fun.
Mhm.
I want to have some good dialogue, conversations, and I'm just happy to be here.
Beautiful. Well, everybody know I'm Miss V, and I would give you all the places you can find me, but I don't go on a lot of that stuff, like Instagram, Snapchats, and all that stuff. So if you did find me there, you probably won't get no conversation from me. But I tell everybody, I've been going to the same church, I've been at the same job, and I live in the same building. So I ain't hard to find if you want to find
If you
me.
want to find you.
I ain't hard to find. So today I thought that since this is our first time coming back as Miss V and the crew, and we're not sitting in for milk and honey, I thought what we'll do for our own showcase is to start at least letting you guys know what we've been talking about on the milk and honey.
Yes.
So tonight, what we're going to do, we're going to recap some of the stuff that we've talked about with the milk and honey. And in this guest, we have our guests to kind of give us some feedback on some of our conversation that we've had. It's been a good wheel, and I'm telling you, when I first started out with this, I had told my daughter, I said, I don't think I can do this. She said, well, Mama, ain't nobody talk as much as you. I said, yeah, but ain't nobody talk as much as me. It's bound to say something wrong. And I know it.
Bound to get heated up.
I can mess some stuff up. So I said, but I wanted to do it, and I always wanted this. And I said, sometimes you know what God does? He puts you in a position where a door opened, and it would be befitting to me to walk through. So whether I sink or fall, I'm in it.
That's all right. We got your back.
And I know sometimes I can walk through some stuff some people sink in. So I'm ready for the walk. I'm built for this thing.
Come on.
So let us start it off right quick, and put it right on the table, because I think the first thing that I wanted to do, because Mark, you never was here when it came to we wanted a sign, and if you was a sign on the road, like all of the street signs or whatever, and you was going to be one, which one would it be?
Proceed with caution. That'll be my street sign. Proceed with caution.
Why?
Because you don't know what you would get if you continue to drive down that road.
Come on now.
So proceed with caution. Now, if you're proceeding and you're doing the right thing you should do, there's no problem on this road. But if you're driving wild, it could get slippery over here. So
I like
proceed
that.
with caution.
Proceed with caution. I like that. Tempest, what did you say when you talked about the road signs?
I think I said caution. I think because we said the same thing, right? We said caution. Because you, like you said, you just never know. You got to proceed with caution throughout this life, right? You can't just jump into stuff. You can't, I talked about be cautious of who you talk to, be cautious of how you share things or what you share and who you share it to. And just be cautious in the walk that you walk in, especially if you portraying to walk a walk, I would say, before God. You truly got to be careful on how you walk in. Because people watching you, they quick to say, "Oh, I thought you was a Christian." Yeah, I'm a Christian, but God didn't tell me to be stupid, or I'm a Christian. He didn't tell me to stop living. So I would say be cautious as well.
So men not from Venus and women not from Mars.
No,
we on the same. Okay.
Well, we'll talk about that. I'm not. I'll take that now back. We'll discuss that because sometimes I feel like y'all from a different planet. Y'all might feel the same about us.
We do.
That's fine. That's fine. See, it's good to have a man on here, y'all. We finna have some little debates. Y'all ready? Y'all better come on in this room and talk with us.
Well, I'm gonna go off the script, and this wasn't even on the platform that I was gonna talk about. But I want to throw something at you, and we're gonna just touch this for just a second, and then we're gonna go into the shacking and the marriage. But just briefly, how much do you care about what people think or say about you?
You talking to me?
Either one.
It don't matter. You know what? I don't care.
Okay.
I don't care. I think at one point in life I did, maybe as a youngster, but now as a 53-year-old, I don't care what you think and what you say.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think subconsciously we all care what someone say and how we are perceived, because even the way we carry ourselves at work, you got to put on your work attire. And what I mean attire, I'm not necessarily meaning clothes. You got to put on your work voice.
Right.
You can't go in and say, "Hey, how y'all doing? Hey, good morning, how you doing?" So clearly we care about, you said yourself, I talk so much, I'm bound to say something wrong. That means you care about what somebody else is saying, so how they perceive you from your thoughts. So I think subconsciously, a lot of the stuff that we do is driven by the thoughts of other people.
I was going to ask a question.
That's okay.
Go ahead.
Well, the way I feel about that, and I don't know if I always felt that way, but I do care, and because they say a name is rich, and when you get bad vibes, now you can't help if people just automatically gonna say things bad. You can't help it, but we ought to care, because your reputation will get there before you. And if you're not careful, before you even got there, some stuff has been misled, been misunderstood, and probably it's been wrong information that's been shared. But I do care. I mean, and the reason I care, for a lot of reasons, is not just about me. I got too many peoples connected to me.
Yeah.
I got too many peoples that depends on me for me not to care about what folks say about me. My life, my children's, my family, my nieces, my nephews, my sisters, my brothers. There are so many people that is connected. So what you say about me, it actually can either hurt or break a situation, or start up a rift, or bring dissension and division. So, yeah, I do care. Okay. Now, you was going to ask a question before we go into this.
So I would say, like he said, subconsciously.
Now you done gone back to
you had to think. But no, subconsciously, you do have a thought in your mind. Like, you have a thought in your mind, like, okay, you might consider what somebody else says or thinks. But my question is, do you stop being who you are because of what they think about you? Right?
Yeah, I tell people all the time,
or do
it's
you
not your first thought, it's always your second thought.
Mm-hmm.
Because the first thought, that's embedded in us. Same thing with race, same thing with neighborhoods. Your first initial thought, but it's your second thought that goes into who you really are as a character. Because your first thought could be, okay, there's a big bulky guy, he's gonna be so aggressive. That's your first thought.
Right.
But after, hey, how you doing? You get the, oh, he's not that way. Now it goes into, now I'm gonna go upon my second thoughts. And I think that's how it goes with not necessarily caring what people think about you, but how do I respond to, all right, I am my own self, but how do I go further with that? Is it pushed by what someone else think, or is it based upon my own morals and values of what I'm doing?
Okay. That was
and
good.
then and a lot of times I used to tell my kids, whatever people say about you, you just make sure that it's a lie.
Come on.
You know, if you hang stuff out and folks see it and they talk about it, that's nobody's fault but yours.
Right.
So hang clean laundry so you don't have nothing, so they ain't got nothing to talk about. So when we was here, we was talking about, because now I asked somebody, I said, why would you shack when you can get married? They said, well, why would you marry when you can shack? And I said, well, there is a lot of reasoning for marriage, or it wouldn't have been instituted in the first place. And we discussed that and we talked about it. So on a man point of view, we would like to know what you think.
On shacking versus being married?
Yes.
And just by the way, just FYI, I didn't read any of this because I like to be off
the
top
part
of
off guard.
mind.
Right,
Yeah.
come off your mind.
So
you like to be spontaneous.
Yeah. So shacking versus marriage, I think everything has a expiration date. No matter how good it is, everything has an expiration date.
Even marriage?
Everything
Really?
has some type of expiration date.
Okay.
And the reason why I say even marriage,
Even marriage.
because you can be married for 15 years, but yet and still be in a different marriage 3 times to the same
To
person.
the same person.
Because you're not the same person today that you was yesterday. And so if you have an expiration date on shacking versus marriage, I just think it has to be agreed upon. It's okay. And then also it's a negative connotation to come with the word of shacking. If we living together and we making this work together with us, why should I feel forced upon because society say I should marry you? Because I know some people that are married and is going through living you know what.
Yeah.
And some people that just quote unquote shacking is living a dream.
Yeah.
Living a dream in which the married people wish they had.
Okay.
He got real deep on us, didn't he?
Get deep back.
Okay, well, I agree with you when you say everything has an expiration date, right? Because like you said, even within the marriage, you definitely can be like you in the marriage, more than one time with that same person, because especially if you get married when you're young. When you're young, both of y'all two different people. Y'all young people who barely know what you're doing, but you got married because you decided to get married. But then as you grow and you get wiser and you mature, sometimes we change. Sometimes we grow apart from each other. Not grow apart. You know what I mean?
We know.
You know what I mean?
Outgrow
Sometimes you outgrow each other. Come on, that's what I mean. See, I'm so glad he here, y'all. He helping
I
us out. You
got
outgrow each other, but yet you still trying to hold on because in your eyes, you feel like, okay, I committed to this man or to this woman, so I'm trying my best to hold on. But sometimes you're right. You can't be in a marriage and y'all could be in 2 different spaces, but yet married. And you do have some people who shack, who do seem to be living a better life. But if we're gonna go according to what the word says, marriage is a covenant unto God. Shacking is not. So even though you feel like people who are shacking and feel like they live in a dream, they got to pay a price for that shacking at the end. Me personally, I feel like the dream is if I do what I need to do according to the word, I'm gonna make it to heaven, and that's my dream. So
That's awesome. But I also feel not necessarily by you, I'm just speaking in general.
In general, yeah, that's what we talk. It's in general.
I feel that we as people, we got to get to the point that we are rooted and we know who we worship. We know who we look towards and we know who we're trying to emulate. But we can't pick and choose when we want to emulate it.
That's
because
true.
Although, like you said, why did they institute marriage? Or it's part of God's covenant. But I might tell a lie to got to speak. So there's no crime bigger, no commandment greater than the other. If I know for a fact this woman right here, although we're not married, she's holding me down. We have a great relationship and we're not married, but I'm doing everything else according to what God said. I treat her like a queen. When I come in his house, I make sure I'm the provider, I'm the protector. I'm doing all these type of things. I shouldn't feel compelled to say, I want to marry you just because what society say, or even to what the Bible say, because it also say you have to know yourself. If I know I'm not ready to be married, I'm just as wrong for jumping into a marriage just to say I'm married.
I know we're not going to spend a lot of
Yeah.
time on that, but there's one thing that I say, and I think Temperance already said it, is when you start to even dating somebody or knowing that they're going to be a part of your life, somewhere in your mind, it ought to have been the purpose of something. You ought not just dated her and just say, well, I'm just dating, I'm just in this. From the very moment that I picked you and I chose you, it ought to be some purpose in it. It ought to be, you know what? I see you as a wife. I see you. And when you get out here and you just start shacking, trust me, and you had children. Oh, this ain't working. I'm out of here. But sometimes when you married, it gives you some fighting power. It give you, I want to hang in here. I want to stick it out. And you have people with a baby over here, a baby over here, and a baby over here. Because you know what? Men's come and go. They're just like barbers. But if you're married to one, it's something about making a vow between the congregation and him. Is give you reasons to say, you know what, it wasn't as bad as I think. It wasn't as bad as it was. Let me just see if I can make it work. But most of the time, when you just in it to shack, anytime you rub me wrong, I'm done.
Yeah.
Or the minute you saw something that shaped better than mine, I'm gone. So it give you a more commitment when you and I mentioned this. Look at the fact when you had what is his name, Cam Newton. He got 8 children, and then he want 10. How much are they getting from you?
Yeah.
How much time? How much
That's
investment? How much of you are they really getting?
Yeah.
I mean, sometimes when you in relationships and this one don't work and you just go to the next relationship, the damage is still being deposited here, there, everywhere. And I didn't want to spend a lot of time on that because we done had a whole month of milk and honey. We done had some conversations, baby.
Conversations.
And you just catching on a
Well, I'm
bit.
gonna have to come back to talk about them because I had a whole lot to say.
He was ready. He was ready. What you want to do? What you want to do, Miss B? You want to let him talk?
He said, I want to eat you up. I know. I know it. And you know what? And I promise you, we had this whole, because all of this stuff that we talked about, we just trying to touch bases on it. And we shouldn't even be doing that much talking because we done did all of this stuff.
We done did.
I love it. I love it.
We done did this talking before. So we ought to be just, and then it gives me right to the one that had me. They had to tell me, time out. You know what I'm saying?
Here we go.
Because when the airplane get in the air, it's hard to bring it back down. And I had already got up there.
She got up there.
It's easy to come back to
Well, you're right. Depends on what you planning into.
So come on, baby, fly me, because I told him I cannot respect a man that asks for alimony.
Yeah.
You feel the same?
I do. Yes, I do.
All right.
Yes, I do.
Question. I'm not putting you.
Come on, ask a question. We just talking. Ask a question.
What does alimony mean?
Alimony means if you and that man go y'all separate ways, and he feel like you should still help support him, then you should help support him.
So you already just told me your biasness in the definition.
But I'm not finna support you, bro.
What you just said, alimony means if you and that man
go your separate ways, why in God's name do you want me as a woman to support you?
Okay, so you didn't even give me the definition of alimony. You gave me your bias.
That's my bias.
What is
definition.
Your definition on alimony?
Actually, me and her on the same page.
No, what's the definition of alimony? Not what you think.
Y'all
about.
help us out
What
there. Come on, give y'all opinions. Chime in and give us some opinions.
Alimony is that when the relationship is served, then you are asking to be taken care of.
I love it. You gave the definition of alimony without giving a gender. So, if a guy, I'm going to use, let's say, a surgeon at the top hospital in Illinois. He makes the money. The wife stays at home. She takes care of the kids. She does an amazing job. She's keeping the house good. She's doing everything she's supposed to. The relationship doesn't work out. They divorce. Should he pay her alimony to keep her in the custom of the life that she became accustomed to?
Yes.
All right. You agree?
Yeah.
Wonderful. Flip the genders.
Do y'all agree?
Especially in today's world, we have so much woman empowerment. Women should do, and they do an amazing job doing the same job as men. You have the woman surgeon. She's making all this money. She tells the husband, babe, I don't want another woman raising our children. You stay at home. I don't want a nanny. I don't want anything. You stay at home. You take care of our kids. You take them to and from school. You take them to their doctor's appointments. And I got us. She decided to divorce him for whatever reason. He's not entitled to still have that custom of life.
Can I be honest with you? I was trying to see what they were
Oh, no,
saying.
I can repeat it for you.
And I missed what you said.
I can repeat it
Okay,
for you.
come on.
So,
Okay, he gonna repeat this question. I was trying to see what our other
same scenario.
Lawanda was saying.
Same scenario in which you said that the man should pay alimony. Flip the roles. You have a big time female surgeon at a top hospital. She's making all the money. She tell her husband, I don't want another woman raising our children. I don't want a nanny. I want you to stay at home. Take care of the kids, take them to and from school, take them to and from the doctor's appointments, take care of the house. When I come home, I want the dinner made. And he said, baby, I got it.
Okay.
For whatever reason, they decide to divorce. He is not entitled to be accustomed to that same lifestyle.
Okay.
I'm just going to
you put it like that. I guess I would say maybe yeah.
No,
I would say maybe you give him a little bit of something because okay, he did take care of the kids. He did what he was supposed to do.
Because
the woman did the same job.
And the
but
woman
that's
did the
one of the
same
problems
thing.
that's right now that's going on today.
Okay.
People is weighing everything off of dollars. Because when it comes down to the man and the woman, he ought to have some trespassing where he ought to say it's certain lines I just can't see taking money from my wife or from this woman. If I knock the dough down, I got to do it myself. So I look at not so much as on a financial thing, even though the woman ought to get some finances. But when it comes to the man, yeah. You need to go out there and make your way.
So let me ask you this question.
Okay.
Oh, that is a great. I got a nice scenario for you.
Oh, we got to move on.
I got one more.
Oh, you don't want to move on.
We got to keep talking. We got to keep talking.
Say UPS. Say UPS. You're working inside that trailer. When you go to get the job at UPS, it asks you one specific question on there. Are you able to lift 70 pounds or more? Everybody that got that job at UPS had to click yes. So, me, another woman inside that trailer at UPS. There's a box that's coming down that wheel. It's about 70 pounds. Should I help her pick up that box?
Yes.
I should. Why?
Yeah.
We get paid the same thing.
You're right.
We both click.
You're right.
70, yes, I can.
And
why should I pick up her box?
Well, I mean, if you see she can't pick it up, I would think.
Hey, that's her problem.
Common courtesy.
Yes. The box say set. Common
courtesy would say.
So it should be
pick it
common
up.
courtesy that I took on the road.
And you're right. I'm gonna be honest. Now he wrote this thing down. I did think about this question even afterwards. I think we so caught up in what society thinks or what the back in the day used to think. You don't do this for a man. You don't do this for whatever. But I do feel like if that man was at home and he was doing everything and they agreed, like, hey, the wife says she gonna work and she gonna take care of home. If he doing everything he's supposed to do if it would be vice versa, I do feel like he should, get something. And just to pin, LaWanda said the same thing. She said, this is our other host. She was a little sick today. She said, I feel that if she has more money, she can pay that man. That's what she said.
Look at that.
So I do think that because you know what I think sometimes
maybe
it
do have something to do with age bracket.
And I think sometimes it can be.
That is wanting a digital relationship with an analog mindset.
Now what?
You want a digital relationship with an analog mindset. You want something new. Because everybody got the 65-inch TV in the house. No one have that box TV anymore that sits on the floor that you put all your flowers and everything on top of it. You cannot use that same cable box on that.
That's true.
You got to move around.
So, but see, there's some things, and I'm not against change, but it's some things foundationally should not change. And when it comes to the role, men's, women's, and all that stuff, we have put dollar signs to everything. And I'm agreement with the one thing that women's has a lot of this libs and stuff has messed up so much stuff. Until now they took the standard of what things was and they have took it in and out of proportion. Because I do believe that the man, he ought to work. And he ought to not. And I know this ain't today's day, but he ought to be the one
But
working.
no, but that's a great question, and that goes all the way back to everything society, and it goes back to what I was when I first started off when I was talking about the Bible, how we can't pick and choose what we want to use from the Bible. Is it because we seen back in the day, like you said, our fathers and grandfathers go to work every day? This is what a man's supposed to do. What if in 1965 to 1970, grandma went to work every day? Would that now be the norm?
It wouldn't be it would be the norm based on what this society has placed, because now it takes 2 checks, they say, to make a household. But the word says that the man's supposed to work to the sweat of his brow.
They released a study yesterday, says to live comfortable in the city of Chicago, you have to make an annual of $95,000.
Yeah, but
so tell me how many people you know singly make $95,000.
But see, what a make no money, and then there was only one of them working. They were raising 15 children, and they had everybody ate, nobody argued, nobody had a problem with it. But now you're making $95,000, and the whole house is can't talk to each other. You got families in different rooms, and ain't nobody speaking. So you have to come back to realization that something is wrong with this picture. $95,000 ain't the answer. And when we start to, and when until you start to set your household and just at me and my household, this is the way it's going to work. We done made too many parents, and I promise you, we got to move on because the plane finna get in the air. So I know you want
your seatbelt on. Put your seatbelt on.
I'm waiting on the mask to come down because I don't put mine on first. I'm ready for it.
He waiting on me. Come on with it. Come on with it. And then because that even brings me back to even you got all of this stuff that's going on. All of these people is making their own.
Someone say the same thing. You out on the island by yourself. She said, "I feel men should get alimony in that situation until he get on his feet."
All right.
I disagree. Get out of the house and go get you a job. Get on your own feet. Don't be looking for no woman. Do like James Brown.
Okay, so what was that woman supposed to do? Should she have got out of the house and did something too?
Well, a woman gonna always make it. If you walk out of the door and don't give me a dime, I'm gonna make it.
Now that part is true.
I'm gonna make it.
We're gonna make it.
I have seen
baby,
situations, and baby, this ain't just not start happening. It's still happening. Where men are just walking away from women, and they are leaving them with the kids, holding the bag.
Why she want alimony?
No.
Why she want alimony?
Yeah, because they want it.
Sister, you gonna make it.
Yeah, we're gonna make it, but I'm saying we shouldn't have to. I didn't have. Okay, we finna get to our other question about the babies, but we gonna skip that one because I know you ready for that one too.
Miss V, before you get there, could we get them the phone number so they can call in if they want to talk to us?
You can. Say
okay, y'all. We're gonna get y'all this phone number. We want y'all to call in. Call in with these questions and your thoughts, and you can reach us here at the station at 708-223-8953. 708-223-8953. We would love to have you call in and voice your opinions. Okay. Thank you. Okay, Miss V, go ahead.
You know what? And maybe it's because I've always been in what they call the lower standards of finance and stuff, and I saw how good it was and how it was glued with it. And now, since we put all of these streams, what needs to be and what has to be, that it have just started to put, okay, well, then I put my spin on it. Okay, well, then I put my spin on it. And then and so everybody is putting spins now. And nobody is establishing nothing but what they want and how it's supposed to be. But no, when it comes to families, and you have taken me out of my father's house the way it was actually supposed to be, you gave me your name, and you said, I vow I'm going to take care of you. And then you get in halfway in the stream and says, I'm out of here. Because that's what happened. They see another young filly, and before you know it, they cheating. And so now you cheating on me, and now you feel something else, and now you don't even want me no more.
So here she goes with that bias again. So I guess just men is the only one that's cheating.
Share it.
The only one that's cheating.
Most of the time, it's the
men.
In
fact, no.
Women cheat now. I will say women cheat.
Maybe I don't know.
Women cheat. Oh, Miss V, we got to talk. The women cheat.
Men and women cheat, but we get so caught up in the idea when we saying cheating. I can automatically tell you, everybody at the table thought physically first. So many people cheat, whether it's emotionally, spiritually, just having somebody to communicate.
Jesus, there's somebody on the line.
We got somebody on the line. Who calling in?
Hello?
I just want to say,
That's
y'all
what-
doing a fantastic
Little
job.
Wanda.
However, you got to come out of 1950, Miss B.
I ain't said. She said.
When our mothers stayed at home, like they said, they want them barefoot and pregnant and cleaning up in the kitchen and all that. When they stayed at home, most of the time, the men went to work and they brought those checks home. But half the time, they had a whole other family across town and they was cheating.
That's true.
They wasn't the best men. So the women wanted to get out the house and do something other than those kids. Those kids, they made it look good. They made it look easy, but that doesn't mean that they liked it. So things got to change, So that's what I wanted to say. I've been trying to say it for a long time.
Well, we should thank you, Carla.
And you should feel better so you can say it next week when you get here. Wanda on the line.
She on the line. She
Now
couldn't make it in the house, but she
at
called.
home. She at home sick,
right.
But she still got to. I got to say what I got to say.
I'm glad you said it when you said it. 'Cause I'm with you when you're right.
He said, "I'm with you when you're right."
I'm saying you. We can't leave it in now. We gotta do our thing. We work just as hard as they do nowadays.
That's true.
We used to did, but we all. If that's the case, if we want it back like that, where they don't get alimony, where they don't do anything, well, we need to stop working. We need to stop bringing in half the check. We need to stop paying some bills and go back to the way it used to be.
Oh, I'm all for that. You gonna pay the bills if I ain't there? If I wasn't here, you gonna still have to pay rent, still have to pay still the gas. So
extra bill.
Yeah, but I ain't no extra bill, nothing.
Y'all don't understand. Half the time when y'all be ready to leave, I just say that's another bill gone.
Oh my God.
That's your bill.
And when y'all leave, we say, "Whoo, that child gone." I'm glad that I ain't got to take care of that one no
and
more.
Guess what? There's no alimony. You take what you brought in your bag. I take what I had in my bag, and we.
This is some really good talk, y'all. This is
probably,
really good.
I probably would go along with that one.
Yeah.
There you go. So you say abolish
I-
alimony altogether.
I wonder. We can't wait to see you back here. I know you sitting at home want to be here, don't you? I know.
Yeah, y'all doing good. I'm so proud of y'all, boy.
Oh, thank you, dear.
I just had to say, I was thinking about it. You kept on saying back in the day, it was 15 kids. We used to split up a chicken. So everybody got a wing, a tip, a quarter of a leg. Everything was just so different back then. And times have changed and evolved. And I just feel like we need to evolve as well.
That's true.
But we need to, and nothing wrong with changing, and nothing. But if we don't put some type of standards to what evolving is, we going out the world backwards. Because it's not. Because it's got to be a better way, and somehow or another. And with this changing and all that stuff, it brought a lot of other stuff that creeped in. Yeah. Have you ever saw a door that was closed back in the day? And no, I'm not gonna do it. I'm gonna keep the door closed. But we kept on putting a crack and a crack. So now it's bust open. Now everything is coming in. That's everything is happening. Everything. If you have some standards to how to keep it that way, good.
I'm not saying you shouldn't still have your standards, but your expectations should be. And what I mean by alter, not saying you need to change your expectations, but you need to alter your expectations. Take, for example, your mother, my grandmother, was one of probably the greatest seamstresses I ever seen with my own eyes. At the age of 21, I'm sure she was able to knit a whole sweater. Cool. At the age of 75, she would be crazy to think she can knit that sweater the same way she did when she was 21. Now, she may still have the mindset to say, baby, this is how you're supposed to do it. Mm-hmm. You're supposed to take that needle. You're supposed to put the thread in there and do this and do this. Mm-hmm. But guess what? Her hands got brittle. So she couldn't do it the same way. So her expectation had to change. That, you know what? I know how to do it, but I got to alter my expectation and not think that I can knit this sweater the way I did when I was 21. And I think one of the things you're doing is not willing to alter your expectation and what it is that you want.
That could be it. But I don't have to see, and that's the way it's good to me. But
it works for you.
It works.
Works for you
because
it works for you.
With me now, being single, I ain't got to do that kind of type of compromising and say, well, you must not want nobody. No, you know that everybody single is not unhappy.
That's true.
And we need to stop putting that on people's and thinking, you know, just because a person is single and just because they don't have anybody, they is living miserable. No,
that ain't
the
true.
flies on the outside want to get in. The flies on the inside want to get out.
Yeah.
Those people that's married want to be single.
Yeah.
And them that's single thinking, I'm missing out on something. You have to know, it's that be true to yourself. And sometimes when you single, it give you avenue. It give you room to be able to do something and be able to say what you want, mean what you say. I ain't got nothing, no shingles, no shackles holding me.
I ain't got to watch your
that
feelings.
Is so true, but you'd be so surprised. Not necessarily saying you, but
wonder we got to hang up.
The people that are single.
Hang up. I love y'all.
I love you.
But you'd be surprised. The people that's single and think that way is the same people that put the pressure on the people as it relates to the shacking in the marriage, because they put their views, they impose how they feel about. You shouldn't be doing that. I'd rather be by myself. If I can't have what I want, I'd rather.
I can be bad by myself.
Yeah.
I'm not saying you, Auntie, and be honest. Wants to be by themselves.
No, I didn't say one.
Because if we take the Bible, man was supposed to be alone.
You need help.
That's true.
He even took his rib and say, "No, I'm gonna take yours and give it to her
I'm
so
not
you can
saying,
have a mate."
I'm not saying they are. I think that my clearly thing is 2 is better than 1. That's a fact, and that's not because I said it, but I know that to be real. 2 is better than 1. They said 2 can get each other warm. You can even lift me if I fall. You can even witness for me if I need a witness. But just because a person is single doesn't mean that they are unhappy.
That's so true.
So is would you rather have somebody? Probably yes.
Yeah.
But now you think I'm gonna sit home and mope and cry because I don't?
Right.
Life keep on moving.
It keeps moving.
It keeps on grooving. And in the midst of that, he keeps you.
Yes, he does.
So, and now why would anybody want to cheat with somebody they don't want and lose somebody that they want? Because that's what cheating does. Because if you're gonna cheat and you wanted them, why did you just leave me and go there? If that's what you want, why would you do both of us?
Right.
And this is what happens. You doing something, I don't know, for a moment of thrill or for whatever. But now in the fact of you losing something that you've connected to, family connections, life connections, home connections.
Something that was good to you.
Something that if whatever you needed, you could have probably gotten it right there.
Right.
But we would risk it.
Risk it all.
And I ain't saying it just men do that, because even a woman, which make it even harder because, you know, it maybe shouldn't be and maybe a stigma, but women are held to a higher degree. And it may not should be that way, but there's some of the things that you see a man do. No. Women's it looks really bad when you do it.
So just going off, I'm just gonna go off of, if I could, I'm gonna jump inside of you, and I'm just gonna go through your.
Don't jump inside of me, cause baby, ain't no telling what you.
Because everything in which you've been saying for like the last 45 minutes.
Oh man, that's how
has been the pressure upon what a man is supposed to do.
Okay,
he's supposed to go to work. In the words of her, he's supposed to work to the sweat of his brow. He's supposed to do all of these things. Now, you said that you are now speaking for society. You think we don't know that? So, if I fall short at one of those things, I'm already feeling as if I dropped the ball. So, now I come in the house to a woman that after I just dealt with everything I just had to deal with what society said I should be. I come in the house and I'm dealing with a woman that looks at me exactly the same way in which society looked at me. How am I supposed to feel? How am I supposed to get up tomorrow to try to get right what you said, everything I should have had already nailed down?
Okay, so what you do instead, you go and you find another woman to validate you.
So is that what you're saying? You gonna go out and cheat because of that?
I'm asking the question.
Now, well, I'm asking you a question.
So where is the validation?
The question, you got to answer this question. So you feel like because you came home and your wife, right, was feeling how she was feeling, and she came down at you, right, just like you let what you was getting when you came home from work. That would give you the reason, right, to say I'm gonna step out on her because she's looking at me or she's treating me just like society. Instead of, and my thing is, if that's what you feel like you would do, why would you do that instead of like talking to your wife and saying, honey, we got a problem? Because guess what? If you was at work and the people getting on your nerves, eventually you going to say something. It's going to boil up so high. Sometimes you're going to say something or you might leave. But okay, you can't. You can't or you won't.
No, I can't.
Because listen,
Because
do
if
we
I
think
do-
about that in the marriage?
Because if I do, I can't
leave.
come home to you and tell you I lost my job.
But do we have that mentality?
If you tell me you stood up and,
right.
and you was a man.
Do we have that mentality?
If
Wait.
If you was a man, you would.
Hold
If
up.
you was a man, you was a man,
but,
you would.
But
There
listen,
it is.
will we have that
There it
mentality
is.
of I can't when before you pack your bags and walk out the door because that woman, she getting on your nerves? Did that thought of I can't walk out on my wife. I can't leave my family. I'm gonna have to work this thing out. I'm gonna figure it out. Do that I can't thought come in your head.
Does that
not just saying you, we just saying in general.
I get it. But does that same I can't thought process go through? I can't send him out feeling inadequate. I can't send him out feeling less than. I can't send him out feeling as if he's not the man because he makes less.
But now, if you don't,
I can't send him out.
But if you don't tell me that, baby, you know what, we gotta do something different.
Right.
This is hurting me. I'm getting screwed at work. I'm getting screwed on the job.
Right.
I'm having problems when I'm trying to get to work. When I get to work, I'm having problems. At least let me come home. And then you don't know. You let to come home and see.
But what did she just tell us? But if you the man, okay,
we gonna move past
that. But you know, I'm saying every one of us fall weak. And if that's one of the times that you fall weak, the woman ought to lift you. She ought to build you. But you ought not come here telling me I want some alimony. You know what I'm saying? It ought to be somewhere.
That goes all the way back to what I was saying about the expectation. You said it yourself 5 minutes ago. Women are held to this standard. Men are held to this standard. So
but we all fall short.
We do. But if I'm already know if I'm held to this standard right here, I'm supposed to be a certain way.
Then you're gonna go cheat.
No, I didn't say you go cheat because of that. Nothing is always that was the reason why you did this. Trust and believe it's always a combination of a whole lot of other stuff. That might have been a straw that broke the camel's back, but it's a whole lot of other stuff.
So you do. So if you're gonna cheat, why would you stay married? You know what I'm saying? And so just leave.
Right.
I mean, this is not you. I'm saying it's not
in general because this could be a woman or a man thing. It's not just a male. Why do we do that?
If you don't like your job, why look for another job?
Oh, so you looking for another?
Why are you looking? Why are you putting your resume and you going to work? Half of the people putting resumes on their job.
So you testing the water before you go out.
Quit and test the water.
You testing water before you get out there. Let me see if I can how it is out there.
Right.
Let me see how it is out there before I get out there.
Quit and test the water.
But this is a marriage. You cannot compare a marriage to a job. This is a marriage. Just think a marriage with family. So what about your kids? So what you gonna look back and tell your son?
What about the benefits?
Well, son,
quit and test
so you're gonna say, well, son, I had to just test the waters because your mama was getting on my nerves. Or the mama gonna say, well, daughter, I had to test the waters because your daddy was getting on my nerves. So I mean, what about the children? No.
Some people say because
sometimes
of the children.
we do.
I know.
Sometimes we do. But we just saying.
So
that's another question.
Oh, is it?
So we're gonna roll on. So do you think
you're rolling out?
Do you believe people should stay in the marriage for the kids?
I don't believe they should stay in it for the kids, but I definitely know it plays a part in decision making.
True.
And sometimes it almost puts you in a spot of you might as well cheat. I'm not saying the actual physical idea of cheating, but if you stay with someone not for the right reasons, you might as well not be in it.
True.
Because if I'm staying with you just because we have a child, I'm really not invested in this with you.
And you know what? You are absolutely right. I was in that situation before, and I did hang on in there for a very, very long time because I felt like I was doing it for the kids. But then you come to realize if you with this person and all y'all doing is arguing, y'all into it, you know what I'm saying? You ain't here, I'm not there. Like it's just chaotic. The home is chaotic, right? You don't realize you're stressing them kids out. And when you do decide like enough is enough, it's time for us to go our separate ways, them kids be like, I wish you had done this a long time ago. You should have been done this. But a lot of times we feel like we doing it for the kids, but I think we sometimes use that. I'm doing it for the kids because they need their daddy in the house. The daddy, he barely even be in the house. Well, if he there, he ain't spending time with the kids. So, but I think we do it out of fear because you so used to being with somebody for so long. Now you're afraid to be by yourself. You know what I'm saying? You don't know what else is out there. You scared to start over. You feel like I don't want no another man around my children. You know, so you have a lot of thoughts. But
yeah, but
people do that. We do that.
That goes all the way back to what I was saying about the whole notion of the idea of cheating. So to stay with someone, to not truly be invested,
right?
To say with someone that this is chaotic, I know there's no progression that's going to happen with this relationship.
Yeah.
What is the difference in between staying with somebody, knowing that it's toxic, knowing that we're affecting these kids, knowing all the type of stuff? What's the difference between you doing that and somebody sneaking around and texting, going out doing what they're doing, they coming home, and hey babe, how you doing? What's the difference? And I think we as people in the society has a lot to do. We put that negative connotation. Oh, you a cheater, or you this. Okay, you're not cheating, but you're going home miserable.
Yeah.
And you sitting next to your man thinking about the guy who told you it was beautiful at work. So
or vice versa.
Or vice versa.
Right.
So who is wrong?
Yeah.
We put that negative connotation on, oh my God, cheating is so wrong. You got caught doing this. You didn't get caught, but you were literally sitting at home thinking about the guy that was in the parking lot that said, have a good day, sweetheart.
Right.
And all day while cooking dinner, you thinking about, man, that man was so nice. He smiled at me.
Like,
and here it is. This man don't even notice me. So it's like, so what's
you telling your friends about him? Girl, that man was cute. He was trying to talk to me.
And I think until we get to a point where we could say, same thing, like I said, no sin is greater than the other sin.
And that's
we can
true.
just say, all right, it's wrong for me to stay in a toxic relationship and dragging you along, wasting my time and your time.
And damaging the kids.
Yeah. That is just as wrong as if you or her was to go out and mess with whomever and come back in the house like nothing happened. It's the same thing.
Yeah.
You know, they got this thing now that they change it. They want to change the vows, you know, the sickness and health. They want to change that. They want to.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they want to abolish all that stuff that's been standard and been put down. Is that what old fashioned and old timing? And you see, this is what I'm saying. When we start to want to dissect and change stuff, some stuff that ought to stay in place is going to get out of place.
But can I ask a question? Who put these things in place though? Because a lot of this stuff that was put in place from back in the way, like who started it? Man started that, right? Society started a lot of this stuff. And I do feel like it carried. And so people feel like, well, you're supposed to do this. And now we got a generation of people say, I'm sorry, but I don't believe like Big Mama and them used to believe. I don't see things like that.
I definitely
agree. So I feel like now it is a conflict within generations because you got one generation who's stuck on this and you got another generation like, I'm free. I'm a think how I want to think. I'm going to choose to do this. I'm going to live this way. And then you add each other because you feel like I should do this. And I feel like I'm okay doing the way I want to do it. So I do think that society really does play a big role in really how we live today. Like we really don't have the freedom to live the way we want to live.
Because honestly, we don't know.
We don't know.
I think that most people's, and this is even being, we all confused.
We all confused.
Until you start to get a manual and starting to saying, baby, these are, you know, in the beginning, like the man that got married and he thought his wife they was going to have a family and all of that stuff.
Hey, Eric.
And they wound up divorcing.
Yeah.
Because he thought they was finna have a family. She said, no, I decided I don't want no children.
Yeah.
But they done got married.
And they talked about we was going to have
children. And they talked about we going to have children. Yeah.
So shouldn't she compensate him?
That?
Compensate him. He had to pay her for the divorce and all that stuff.
But although she the one who reneged.
Yeah, but
Yeah, but
No, I mean it's over now.
see what I mean? See what I mean?
Hey, it's crazy. It's crazy out here.
It's crazy, but you know what? I think we got to get to a point
But
to where
there's
if
that-
it works for me, it works for me. Because everything that worked for me ain't gonna work for you, and everything that
But
worked
that's
for you,
how, and that's
you
how
know?
we done got it. So that's why I screwed up. Everybody is bringing their own ways to the table. They bringing their own thoughts to the table. They bringing their own mindset to the table. And you know for yourself. Today I go and buy this dress and it looked good in the window, and I thought I loved it. Got it home. I want to take this right back to that store. I don't even want it no more because now we looking at our thought and we are fickle. We ain't. It's like we changes. That's why you have to have something that's above us and something that is grounded, that's in place, that you can have. It's just like when you go and buy something from the store and you just sit there and say, I'm gonna just put it together.
So don't look now. You want to be part of a dictatorship. I'm
And-
serious.
and then I
And
was
since you do, listen to it. Everything in what you said, you want a standard that on every Thursday when you wake up, you're gonna have to go down your stairs. You're gonna have to get in your car. You have no choice but to drive down a certain street. If you turn down another street, you're gonna get caught. You in trouble. That's just not the way it works no more. That's why there's a such thing as amendments. And what I love the most about amendments as it relates to the Constitution and everything else, things are going to change from when that Constitution was originally written. Because guess what? If there wasn't for change, Black people wouldn't be able to vote. If it wasn't for change, women wouldn't be able to vote.
True.
So there are certain things that they can say, you know what? Although there was a standard, although we put something in place, although we had this platform, that we left out Black people. We left out women. Wait a minute, they matter too. Let's add an amendment for them. You know what? We just said they couldn't talk. Let's give them a First Amendment, freedom of speech. So that's why some things
I agree.
just has to change.
I do. But I'm
It can't be just for the change that's good for you.
That's-
It got change is change.
I'm not even saying change. When we set in these standards for change, we know what we're changing, how we changing, the effect of the change. Because that's what happened is everybody just bring they 2 cents and they 2 cents. This is the way it's supposed to be. This is the way it ought to be. No, there is supposed to be a manual. And when we put this together, we supposed to say, love go there, A go to B. That's the way it's supposed to be. And when we start to putting everybody's stuff in there, we're gonna be screwed up. And that brings us down to what I say is, how come it's so easy to forgive a stranger when you got your family right here and you can't forgive them? And you born together, you together, you ate, you slept, you at the same table, you went to the same schools, did everything. And then all of a sudden you see a light and a bulb come off. And now you can't even get past disagreements. You can't even forgive. And it's like, at what point, especially after the real link passes,
That's deep.
it's like now everything that just because of them, was you loving me just because mama was living?
Right.
In my opinion, I think you
Right.
answered the question. The expectation, everything in which you just named, is why it's so much easier for me to forgive a stranger than it is a family member, because of the expectation which I put on that family member.
That's what I said.
Because
last
of the
week.
simple fact
That's what I
of,
said.
hey, this person,
Yep.
they can mistreat me.
Uh-huh.
They don't know me.
Mm-hmm.
You know my struggle.
Come on.
You know what I've been through.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I seen. You know what I didn't seen. You know what I heard. You know what I haven't heard. And for you to hurt me,
Yeah.
it cuts deeper
It cuts
than the
deeper.
person that don't know me.
That's it.
I can cut you off. I have no ties to you. But I think the bigger problem is we put this onus on people just because they family.
Yeah.
Just because they family. And I think that's the bigger problem. We all of a sudden feel as if, oh, I'm supposed to be close with you because you're my cousin.
Yeah.
I'm supposed to be close with you because you're my sister.
Come on now.
You my sister through my mama and daddy, but are you showing yourself to be sisterly? And I'm showing myself to be brotherly.
Mm-hmm.
We put them titles on people, then all of a sudden, when they don't live up to that title, all of a sudden, oh no. Because I can tell you the truth, I'm close with some coworkers I am with people that's in my own family.
Yeah.
But you see them more.
That shouldn't matter.
But still, it's family.
It shouldn't
Yeah,
matter.
I mean, the people you see on a you know, you go to a work and you spend 8 hours there, 10 hours there, and that's every day. But but when you get with your family, the love and the connection should still be there.
But back to the question with the forgiveness part, because of the onus and the expectation you gave to somebody. Like you just said, we sleep on the floor together, we eat together. You saw me in my most vulnerable state. And you do that to me, to somebody who never seen me in that vulnerable state. Yeah, we got a problem.
LaWanda says, absolutely, Mark. And Chanel says, yes. So they are in agreement. But like he said, too, we do, and my oldest daughter, she said this all the time, we do put expectations on people because of who they are. We feel like because their blood is running through our veins and we got the same blood and blah, blah, first cousins and sisters and brothers. Because they family. Family will cut you in a minute. They are not family. So yeah, if I do expect you to, if as my family member, I don't expect you to hurt me. And if you do, it is harder for me to forgive you. Because yes, unfortunately, I did put them expectations on you because of who you are to me.
But I think a lot of it also coming to getting or receiving personal help as well. Because I've gotten to the place where it's not about the title anymore. It's not about the family member, not family member. It's about forgiving for me now.
Yeah.
So I don't care if you was my favorite cousin, sister, whoever, or the stranger on the street. I'm gonna forgive you, and my forgiveness is for me.
That's true.
And that's universal. So it doesn't matter, oh man, I can't forgive my family. No, it's universal. I'm forgiving you because of me, because I'm holding on to this garbage. Now I can't even
that's right
process or proceed because I'm holding on to this negative thing that you and I got going on.
It's affecting you.
And that's the way you gotta do it. You know what I know is it's going to be about that time for us to start wrapping stuff up.
All right now.
And
already, huh?
we always have to acknowledge everybody, because somebody may have a last minute thought, and we want to have enough time to get the thought out. So, Tempest, do you want to say any of your last thoughts that you want to share?
Well, yeah, I want to just say that change is good. Right? Change is good. Sometimes we can be stuck in our old ways. We get stuck in what we grew up learning, and sometimes we do get stuck. And I think sometimes that happens because sometimes we be afraid to even step out and try something different. You know what I'm saying? Because we so used to holding on, and we knew that this is the way I was raised and this is what worked for me. Like my mother used to be like that, but sometimes you got to change. And sometimes that thing would trigger to your family, your children, grandkids, or whatever. So I just want to say, I feel like change is good. And just because we think different don't mean we don't support each other. Don't mean we don't care for one another. I feel like you can have a difference. What they say, you could agree to disagree, and I think that's okay, so.
Amen.
For me, I don't even know if she watching or listening or not. I just still want to put in the atmosphere that I want her to, I'm not going to say her name. I want her to continue to not lose trust in God, not lose faith. I know she probably is questioning a lot of his moves and a lot of things that he's maneuvering. But I want her to continue to maintain that trust that she got in God, and know that there's a purpose for what he's doing.
Always.
That's all I want.
That's right.
And it's ironic you said that, because this is not even my closing thought, but it was ironic you said that, because I was just reading today about one of the guys, Joseph, and he had this situation where so many things was going on. Families didn't like him. Brothers threw him in pits. Went to a house, and that didn't work out. Got through in jail, and not any of that time did he ever complain.
Yes.
But at the end, he said it all worked for the good.
Yep.
He didn't understand it when it was happening, but it was all working. And and my last thoughts was, I was sitting at work, and I thought about, because everybody know me, they know I love Les Brown. And Les Brown is a motivational speaker, and he said something that he said he was He had a brother and him and his brother. They was getting off the bus and he was crying, but he didn't want to see his mama cry because he was a foster child. He said, but she saw him and then he got to him. She said, why are you crying? And he said, they mean on the bus and they talking about me. And they said, she looked him in the eye and said, don't you never ever let nobody define who you are.
Come on.
There's no DNA like you. And if less don't show, it's going to be a void. Be the best that you can be. He said just that day, something happened to him. He said he changed his whole thought. It wasn't about him no more. It was about his mama. He said, I'm going to make my mama proud.
Yes.
I'm going to do what I got to do. And so he said that to say this. Whenever your picture get bigger than you, whenever it's not just about you, things will happen. Our narrow shape, our narrow mind, and only we see, come back from the mirror. You too close. Sometimes you got to step back and see the full picture. It's more to it than just you. More, and if you look at the more, stop taking a selfie. Take a group lead. Take a whole group and be the cheerleader for the group.
Amen.
And when you succeed, we all can succeed because it's a blessing in the cheerleader. It's a blessing in being a part of something bigger than just you.
Yes.
Look at a bigger picture. Thank you so much, Temperance. You know, you awesome.
Oh, well, thank you, man.
Mark, thank you so much for coming, being a part of us.
This
This is so awesome for having you here.
Yes.
You got to come back.
You got to come back. You got to come back.
You know, they told us we got a fourth seat.
Yeah, we got a fourth seat. You better put your bin in. Put your bin in.
Y'all always need a chair to put your feet in.
Yeah,
So y'all got 4 chairs for that.
Sleep on it.
I had a great time.
Yes. Somebody said love this.
Good night.
Bye. Eric said, let me know when you all come on. Almost. Oh, Palestinian. Okay, Eric, I'll let you know.
Come back every Thursday night at 8 o'clock. We'll see you there.
Thursday night.